Okay, so let me start a server here. It's good.
Yeah, what are you going to teach me today?
All right, this is what we got, Michael. So, see if I can get it pulled up. Looks like I have it on another server. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to do inspect. All right, so let me show you. I'll demo first what I've got going on here.
Sure.
Okay, so here you see albums. I can go to home here, artists, go home here, songs. So like albums, I made a couple changes, just little tweaks to make it look a little bit more presentable. So it used to be like purple. I decided to go with something more neutral. I think that just looks a little bit nicer.
You got rid of the purple.
Yeah. And so then there's this little favorite. You see this text right here that says favorite?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of where I hit a stopping point on, I think it was Monday, is that's going to be like a little icon in the bottom right. And that will allow you to save stuff to a favorites page. So one app that he talked about, the instructor, was there needs to be something to where you can interact with local storage. And so that's what that's for. I almost forgot about that until Monday, and then I was like, oh, we got to do that. So it works for albums at this point. So if you look here, make that a little bit bigger. This is all the information for an album that I've clicked on. So what I'll do is I'll delete this, and then I will click on favorite. There you go. So now what it did is when I click on that link, or I think it's a button, I don't remember what it is exactly, but I created a little JavaScript function which will take the information, send it to a JavaScript function, and then save it to local storage.
Okay.
So I will make that pretty. It's not really pretty at this point, but I'll make that pretty. And there's some other logic that I'll need to introduce to make that work. So let me show you that. So I created this function called save to local storage. This takes in a type, so it's either going to be an album, an artist, or a track. I create an object that wraps the object that's passed into it. So the object that's passed in is going to be like the information for each different entry. So depending on which one you click, it will save the one you've clicked on. And then here I check to see, does the favorited items already exist? If it doesn't, create a new array and then push the new object on it. If it does exist, then we're going to grab the object from local storage and then just add the new thing to it.
Okay.
This is the very last thing I did. So this is not necessarily working at this point. I mean, it does to some degree, but I still need to test it for different conditions.
Okay.
So that's the status of that. So that's that. Oops. I also merged your code into mine and then fixed it up a little bit. Technically, I didn't merge it. I just took what you had and then referenced it and then put it on master.
Did you get the tracks to work? Because I did not.
Okay, so I did.
You did. I figured you would. I couldn't figure it out. Plus, I couldn't log back on. I mean, I couldn't get back to the Spotify where it explained things.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You lost that link?
Well, maybe. Yeah, I thought, I usually save my links in a Word document per class. Do you have that link again?
Yeah, so let me see.
I don't want to interrupt you, but I meant to ask you.
So Spotify Developer API, I think it is.
You gonna chat it to me?
So here it is. And I'll just click on search because that's the one that's relevant to us.
Where is the, here it is.
Okay. Ooh. Okay, so just chatted it.
There it is. Okay.
Okay, so so here is search albums. Now there's another thing I added as well. I added the drop down. So when you click on that, now it gives you a little drop down, little menu.
Yes.
So if I click on artists,
Oh, that's nice.
let's do
The drop down's nice because you don't have to go back to the home page.
Yeah, yeah. So Bob Dylan, I'm just doing for artists. I'm just displaying the artist name, and then the image.
Okay, I forgot. Oh, I think I added genre just for the fun of it.
Yeah, the one thing I ran in with genre is some of them don't have a genre.
Oh, and that's
really weird. It seems like all of them would have a genre, but some of them don't. And then let me show you the code real quick to show you what I ended up having to do. So I actually moved the Ajax requests all into requests because that made more sense to me. Because request.js only had this before, and then I just added all of the different requests in. So it's not a big deal. I just moved that. So for artists, what I ended up having to do, if you see this code here, I say if results i.images.length is greater than 0. So if there's something, if an image exists, then display the image. If there's no image for the artist, continue to the next artist. So this is probably not 100% ideal because that means we're missing some artists. But what this does is it only displays the artists that have an image. So that way we don't get that error anymore. So that's how I handled that.
Oh, so okay. So if there's no image, then they're not going to even display the name.
Yeah. So that's how I'm handling it because why not, right? I mean, it's like just there was like maybe one result that would pop up for every time it was doing it, and I had to hunt down the one that didn't have it because I was like, is that really the issue? So then I hunted it down, and it was for some obscure artist. So I thought, well, I could try and handle that in some way, but I think it looks nicer with the images. And so I thought, let's just keep it consistent with albums and songs that way. So that's kind of how I handled that.
Okay, that's and why did you not want to have the genre there? You said because genre also came blank a couple times?
Genre was just like images, like some of them didn't have a genre. And so instead of trying to deal with that, I said, you know what, I'll just display the name. I'll keep it simple. If we want to add in genre later, we could, the way that we could handle that is that we could say, because quite a few of them didn't have a genre attached, like they were just too obscure or something like that. And so we could just say if it's undefined, have like a not applicable or something like that for genre.
Okay, so I was just wondering because you said that. I was wondering why you jumped to the image solution right after talking about the genre.
Oh yeah, yeah. Just because I thought like having the image there would be consistent with albums, so that would be nice to have. But
all right,
we can mix it up if we want to. But at this point, it's like let's get it done. So
okay.
Okay. So songs. So let's say
I lost my camera again.
Oh, let's see. Oh, so you can't see it right now?
Well, I can see. I can see your image, but I'm frozen. I'm frozen in your lower right-hand corner.
Oh, I see. Okay. So
my green light went out, and I'm not going to fix it. This happened before.
Okay. So in this case, for song, I typed in "Hey Jude" by the Beatles, and it shows just the song name and the album that it comes from. Okay. So kind of similar.
So, did you work from it? How did you get that to work? What did you notice what I was doing wrong?
So I did. I took I kind of like just copied and pasted your stuff at first. Then I'm trying to remember the exact process I went through. So if you notice here, this is get artists, then get songs here. So I think what I ended up doing here, oh, that's right. So for songs, I never ran into a song that didn't have an image attached. So for songs, I actually didn't run into the problem I did for artists.
Okay, but I was just wondering, I couldn't get tracks to show anything. I was wondering, do you know why?
I don't remember why. That's a very good question.
Did it just work for you?
Yeah, I didn't end up having any problems with it.
Did you change anything?
So this is one thing I did notice. So let me see here. Oh, this is one. That's why. Okay, so images here. So images for songs, they structure it differently than other ones. So I had to take the results, then I had to look up the album, and then in the album, I had to look up the first image and then get the URL from that.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what was happening is that we were trying originally to grab just the image straight from the song,
Right.
but a song it doesn't have its own image. A song is attached to an album, and then the album has an image.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that's what was going on.
All right.
So, and then here, this is the only one I've started doing this on albums. So this big, long, messy looking thing, I'll try and clean that up. But you see A here on touch start, and I call this function save to local storage.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the album. So you see this curly brace right here. I'm actually passing in an object that I'm creating on the fly, which is kind of nice. So I've got album, I pass in the album information, artist, pass in the artist information, external link, pass in the external link, image, etc. So now what I'm going to do is once I get the save to local storage thing working, I'm going to create a page called favorites.
Was that your JSON output?
Let me see. Right here.
Yeah, that big long thing. Is that what you were saying, that when you click on favorites, you get that output?
Yeah. So let me go over that one more time. So here, this is the JSON that I pass in
I
to
see.
the function. Then in app.js, I actually make another JSON object. So this ties here. But I make another object, that way I can actually save the type in there as well.
Okay.
So if I save to local storage an album, I want to make sure that it knows that it's an album when I retrieve it, or a track, or an artist. My reasoning behind that is when we create an artist or a favorites page, or a my favorites, or however we want to call that, what I'll end up doing is I'll have some page that's really simple, and it will just have 3 headers. One will say albums, artists, tracks, and then under it, it will list all of my saved things. And then I will probably style it just like we have here.
Mm-hmm.
And then have it where you can click on it and go to an external link.
Okay.
That's pretty much it. I mean, after we got the menu, we've got the home button working, we've got the single page application aspect working. Pretty much getting there. Not a lot that needs to be done still. There's one thing that I noticed that's a little bit tacky, and I haven't fixed that yet. So if you see here, sometimes the images are wider.
Yeah.
And it cuts off the text. At the end of the day, if that's still a problem when we turn it in, I'm not worried about it. But like on albums, I don't have that problem. It's just on artists, I think.
Mm-hmm.
There seems to be some artists that have like wider pictures, and that cuts off the text.
All right.
So.
Well, that's great. You've done a lot.
Yeah, I kind of. The end is coming soon, so.
Well, you said you wanted to get this done by the end of this week.
Yeah, I mean, if we're still at this point that we are at the end of this week, I won't be worried about it, because next week I'll have a little bit of time to work on it too. So.
Oh, okay. So that's no longer your goal.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of depends how this week goes. Work seems to be picking up a little bit more than it was. If I have downtime at work, they don't really care if I work on this stuff. So sometimes I can get away with that more than other times, if that makes sense. But
Oh yeah, I know how work works.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm lucky enough to where they let me work on this stuff at work just because it's related to what I do. So
Sure. Hey, can you do me one more favor here?
sure, absolutely.
Can you flash up that thing where you're talking about the image where you had to get the album before you could display
Yeah.
the image as being the block for the track? I'm gonna just take a screenshot of it. I'm gonna see if I implement that, if I can get my tracks to work locally.
Oh,
Not that I won't bump it up or anything, but
okay. Let me do this too. So I'll just commit what I've got. Um,
I just don't like I don't like the app to win.
I know how you feel. I hate that unresolved feeling.
It's kind of like, come on.
Yes, yes, I don't like that either. Okay, so
Oh, you're gonna show it to me on here?
I will do this for you.
I was just gonna snapshot that one line, but
Oh yeah. And what I can do too, let me see. That way you don't have to search for it as much. I can go like this. So 118.
oh, was that a change that you did while you were in console or something?
Which one?
Was that a change that you did while you were in console?
Yeah, so I pushed it up in my console just right here.
Uh,
I just did it really quick, so you may not have seen it.
okay.
So there's that.
You're fixing this stuff in real time, huh?
Yeah. So what I've got committed so far, you can pull down and check it out on master.
Well, I pulled. Well, now, but I'm only pulling from the branch, so you've got to push it back down to the branch.
So it is on what you got to do is, so I can check out your branch here. Check out MKV, and that's your branch.
Yeah.
Do the same thing. So whatever I don't know if you're doing it in NetBeans or whatever, but you can just switch your branch to master.
I am using NetBeans, and I don't know how to do that.
Let's look at let's say how to switch.
I mean, when I pull my branch, it gives me an option to click the master.
Okay.
But I think I did that before on a different project, and it messes up other stuff. I don't know exactly. I don't remember exactly what happened, but it's like it wasn't the same after that. You know, working locally, it just wasn't the same after that. I forget exactly what happened, but I had to basically delete it all and then reclone it with just my branch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's kind of annoying.
Yeah, but
give that a shot. There's that article. Don't spend too much time on it because it might just be a rabbit hole. But that was
you
one.
Chatted something to me?
Yeah, that's just an article on how to check out a different branch from your project. So.
Oh, okay.
There's that. That's pretty much all I got.
Well, can I see that? Can I see that line that you had?
Oh, so what I did is, if you look in your chat, click on that link, and then line 118 is the line that you want.
I have on the Blankenship Spotify on the. Okay, yeah, okay.
In the chat that I sent to you. So see where it says line 18. The link above that is the link that will show you the line, and then it's line 118.
Okay, so that's the request to JS.
Uh-huh.
Line 118. Oh, I see what you did. Okay, well that makes it easier. I can read that better.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll see if I can fix mine locally with that change. And
Okay.
then I'll be happier because I was pulling my whiskers out.
Yeah, that'll be great because then you can compare the two and see.
Yeah.
What, you want to plan on next Monday to meet again?
Yeah.
Okay, and then I'll try and work on the local storage favorite stuff,
Okay.
and then see if I can build out the favorites page.
Do you want me to focus on anything besides making my thing work locally?
Yeah, make your thing work locally because that will help you to sleep. And then
Okay.
that's important. And then what I'll do is work on that till Monday, and then on Monday I'll try and have the app complete, and we can start tweaking it a little bit. So we can start kind of going in and kind of refining some things, and that can be our focus for last week, I think.
Okay. Sounds great.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Michael.
Thank you. Bye, Daniel.
All right, bye.